On yesterday, which is where the inspiration for this week's edition of Practical Assertion was born, my mother was having problems at our house that whenever she turns on a new air conditioning unit, the circuit breaker trips and she loses power in that particular room until the breaker is reset. We had an electrician come and assess the situation and discovered that there were some problems with the breakers. Now, time won't allow me to adequately explain all there is to know about circuit breakers, but allow me to give you just a little bit of background information and we'll get to the thought. When electricity was discovered and put into use in homes and businesses, it was great. And while man can't take credit for the idea of saying, "Let there be light," and there was light, he came very close with this advent of electricity. Not only can we have light, but we can now power other things as well. What would we do without electricity today, right? As with every other discovery, there are pros and cons, and with electricity, there's no difference. You see, it was soon learned that while there were tremendous benefits, there were also many dangers. They don't call it power for nothing. Not harnessed in the right way, electricity can kill. In homes and buildings, electricians would install fuses in the fuse box where all the lines or circuits would lead to. If the load on these lines became too great, the fuse would blow, actually melt, to protect the structure. An overload could result in a fire. Homeowners and business owners alike just made sure that they had plenty of fuses on hand in the event a blown one. Technology improved, and beside that, it was expensive to keep replacing blown fuses because once blown, they were no good. Enter the circuit breaker. The benefit of the circuit breaker was that it, like the fuse, would break open the circuit so that no current would flow, thus preventing further damage. Once the problem was eliminated, that is, whatever was causing the overload was removed from the line, the circuit breaker could be reset rather than having to be thrown away. The interesting thing about fuses was that you had to identify the issue and you were motivated to fix the problem, otherwise more money was spent on fuses. People got smart, not really, and would put a penny or aluminum foil around the old broken or blown fuse between the terminals, either in an emergency or in total disregard of the danger. So what life application are you attempting to make here, James? It's probably on your mind, right? Well, here goes. As I spoke with my daughter trying to help her to understand circuit breakers, current, amps, and the like, she actually recognized how this concept relates to relationships. I guess the nut doesn't fall too far from the tree, huh? Well, here goes. In our personal lives, there are times when we get a bit overloaded. It frequently happens as a result of some altercation that we happen upon either with our spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, family member, co-worker, boss, clerk at the store, bank, etc. For many, they have discovered the flow of current, that is, they get amped up, you know what I'm saying, when reaching the point of overload. Some, thank God, have the proper circuit breakers in place and can sense the overheating and their breakers trip, yes, because those other folks are tripping, right? And they come back after resetting and will then make every attempt to resolve the issue so that the overload condition does not return. But then there are those whom it is clear that they have jumped the terminals with some metal or aluminum or whatever that will not hinder the flow of current, and so they go off and before long the fire starts. What about you? Do your circuit breakers work as they should? Have you rewired so that overloads are not a problem? Or are you one of those individuals who are wired to spark? Maybe you're still using fuses, but due to past experiences, you decided to jump the terminals so that you stay amped up. One final thought, and that is what my daughter realized, because you see, Mom had circuit breakers and they would trip as they should, but not completely. In other words, some current was still flowing when the circuit should have been completely broken. As we discussed this scenario, it hit her. Sometimes in our personal lives, the overload condition arises and the circuit breaker trips, but not completely. That is, we may be in a bad state and the breaker trips, but not completely. We don't, actually won't, and there is a difference, fix the problem. We don't completely break and find ourselves right back in the same overload condition. Is that you? Tell me what you think. Share this video or email with everyone you know. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week for another edition of Practical Assertion. Make sure you let me know what you think and what condition you're in, and we'll see you then. Take care.